Welcome to Draft Day Suit Week 14 Roundtable. It's Ladies' Day here. I'm here with the 4 loveliest ladies of Draft Day Suit. Our fearless leader, Sarah.
Hello.
Kendra, we're talking to the hand.
Hi there.
We've got Jill.
Hello.
And her puppy Bailey, who may make an appearance. And Carla, who's venturing over from her usual beat on college football.
We're not talking about college?
No. High school.
Okay.
How about high school?
High school. Okay, I can talk high school.
Well, all of these guys played either high school or college.
True.
So
good point.
You may have heard of some of them.
I'm happy to be with women today. I'm not going to lie. I love crappy, but you know, it's good to be in the girls' circle for a day.
Yes. Yes, I agree. We haven't done a ladies only roundtable in ages. It's been far too long. Let's kick things off. Week 14 is looking interesting. Maybe not as interesting as Week 13, but Miami Dolphins will be visiting Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin has been in the news a little bit. He lives a few blocks over from me. Saw his wife in traffic the other day, but that's about as close as I've gotten lately. But he will be on the sidelines. He has not been suspended. He has been fined $100,000 and possible draft.
$100,000. That's a lot of money.
For an oopsie. Yeah, I don't think it's a lot of money for. I don't think it's a lot of money for guys like that. But
my first house cost about $100,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. I don't care who you are. I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, that's like college tuition for 2 years to a really high-end private school. How many kids does he have?
3.
Yeah, I mean,
go to public school.
But I mean, college. He's not going to coach forever.
If you consider that Belichick got $500,000 for cheating, it's a pretty big fine.
It's a really big fine, but the question is, was he cheating, or was he just in the way?
Well, no, I don't think Tomlin was cheating, but Belichick was. And that was $500,000. I mean, and he's got a fifth of that for standing in the way during one play of one game. Pretty big.
And really,
steep.
He was watching on the Jumbotron, but he really just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, but give the guy credit. He took responsibility, owned up, as you would expect a Steelers coach who wants to be a Steelers coach for a while longer to do. And there you have it. So.
And it's been fun watching him jump out of the way of things this week. Also.
Yeah, internet memes abound, as you would expect. Crazy people around here think the Steelers still have a chance at the playoffs if they beat the Dolphins this week. I'm kind of excited about this game. I'm going to the game. It is my first ever Steelers game.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun.
Taking my 8-year-old.
That's bold move.
It'll be a second game, of course, but my first. Wouldn't take him to a later game, like an 8 o'clock game or even a 4 o'clock game, but a 1 o'clock game I'll take him to because the tailgaters haven't had quite as much time to get completely cranked up.
Oh, clearly you've never been to a game then.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been to an NFL game. My family and I used to go to Jets, Patriots in Foxborough once a year when I was in college, and so it's been over 25 years since I've been.
In Tampa, they start drinking at 9 for a 1 o'clock game.
Well, I hear they start at 6.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Don't the lots open at 5:30?
Yeah, we're a drinking town with a football problem.
I have that Christmas ornament. I put it on my tree.
See what I'm talking about? So I'm hoping it's safe. Good friend of ours at a game a couple of weeks ago ended up in the hospital for 5 days with a head injury. So I'm hoping it's going to be safe to take my 8-year-old. Send out the search party if we don't emerge after the game.
I haven't taken Colin yet. I almost took him to the Ravens game, but that was a 4 o'clock game and a Ravens game, so I decided not.
Yeah.
I've taken my kids to a Ravens game when they played Pittsburgh, and we were safe. It was fun.
Well, that's good to know.
Well,
We're up in
I
a sleep,
think
but
first games should be preseason. That's what everyone told me for kids.
Yeah.
Take them to a preseason game. Things are much more relaxed. So, I
You'll
am
have
not
fun.
one of the
It'll be
I'm not
fun.
one of the crazy people in Pittsburgh who thinks that we still have a shot at the playoffs. I don't think it matters whether they win this game or not. What say all of you? We'll start with you, Carla.
Oh, you're gonna make me go first. First of all, the first thing when you sent me the list for Pittsburgh Miami, my first thought was didn't they already play this game? But that's college. Sorry. And Miami won that game, but it was interesting. When was the last time the Steelers played a game that mattered? Like a game that they had to win?
Last year.
Last week.
It depends where you live.
That's true. That's a good point.
That one Super Bowl.
That too. But I mean, in this, if they lose this game, they're absolutely positively done for the playoffs. If they win this week, you're saying we have a chance. That's really where they are at this point. If they win this week, there is still an itsy bitsy mathematical possibility that something strange could happen and the world could explode and the Steelers would make the playoffs. They have to win this week with all the distractions from Tomlin. They're playing at home. Steelers win. I don't know how they win, but they figure out a way to win.
Okay, Jill, I'm gonna guess you concur.
I do. Yes,
I don't
I'm
know.
the Steelers. Surprise! It seems like it would be kind of a boring, inconsequential game with a 6-6 going up against 5-7, but both of these teams actually have good reason to try and want to win this week. And with Mike Wallace coming back to Pittsburgh here this weekend for the first time since he left, I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. And I think he's going to be pretty revved up to play. But I also think the Steelers know that this is it. They're sort of on their last gasp, and if they don't win this week, they're definitely dead. So I'm going to go with the Steelers, and I think it would be fun to see them win and to see Mike Wallace lose.
Okay. So mostly dead is still slightly alive?
I guess so. It's like the Princess Bride.
Thank you for getting that reference. Kendra, what say you?
I'm going to agree with everybody. I think while Miami has looked better this season, obviously, than they have in years, but I just don't see them pulling it out this weekend. Pittsburgh has a little more at stake, and they're at home, so I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay, Sarah, save us from nothing should ever.
Yeah, I'm going to be the dissenting opinion here. Not only do I not think that they have a chance of winning, going to the playoffs. I don't think they have a chance of winning this game. Miami does have a shot, a legitimate shot at the wild card spot. They're 6-6. They're in their division is. They do have to play New England next week, but then they go to Buffalo. I just think that. I think that even if Pittsburgh wins this game, they don't go to the playoffs. So Miami has more to lose, and I think this year Miami is a better team. Their record, they were really good at the beginning. Then they sort of fell down a little. I think they can bring it back, and I think I think Miami's going to take this game. Sorry, guys.
Sarah, you think Miami fell down a little? Did you see them on TV?
I didn't.
12?
I did not. I have not watched a Miami game in several weeks, but I think that they have something to lose, and I don't think Pittsburgh does.
They look like a really decent high school team a couple weeks ago on TV. I mean, they seriously looked awful. I don't know. I'm just going to go and have fun. I was really hoping to get a little hockey-ly. My sources are telling me that he's got the week off.
That man has more vacation days than...
After stretching his balls or whatever exactly he did back on Monday night, I guess he's got to recover from that. Okay, we're going to move on quickly before
Did you make a pick?
before I get a little too far down the hockey trail. let's take a look at Seattle and San Francisco. Arguably the most interesting game this week. I think this one's going to be really, really fun to watch. My general prediction is that Seattle will not look as good as they did on Monday night. But that said, Jill, I was going to start with you.
Hi.
Where's Bailey?
I'm here. Oh yeah, well she's going under the couch.
Oh,
but
I want to see her. How old is she?
8.5 weeks. She's very cute.
She is, and I can't wait to meet her. Okay,
So
Seattle, San Francisco.
she and I are picking Seattle. They have the best record. If they win this game, they clinch the NFC West. They clinch the bye, and I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be an interesting
What is
game.
happening?
I think San
You're
Francisco
freezing up.
is going to give them a really tough matchup, but I think
We still have audio.
here?
Oh, there
Can
you
you hear
go.
me?
Yep.
Hello?
Just keep talking.
Okay. Am I here now?
Just keep talking, Jill.
Okay. So anyway, I think it's going to be a great matchup, but I think Seattle pulls it out, take their bye, and they go home very happy. Shall I
Okay.
keep going?
Yeah, just say their uniforms are uglier than the bumblebees.
Oh my gosh. They
They're
are.
pretty bad.
It's a close call, though.
I agree.
Those bumblebees are not so good.
Sandra, what do you think about Seattle, San Francisco?
As much as it pains me to say it, I think Seattle wins. They're kind of on a high. They're kind of. I was hoping that they wouldn't do as well as they have this season, but I don't see San Francisco doing anything that is going to make them win this week. And Seattle's just too good right now.
Okay. Sarah?
Look, I think these are the two best teams in the NFL right now. They have the two most interesting defenses for sure. Their offenses are amazing. This could be, if it's mathematically possible, our NFC Championship game preview. Seattle's on fire. They're the only team that's clinched a playoff spot in the whole entire league. They're 11-1, and while I think San Francisco is their biggest competition, I don't see San Francisco winning this one even at home. I think Seattle's got it.
Even if it's the last game at Candlestick. Which we're not sure, but...
We're not sure. I don't know.
It depends on the playoffs, frankly.
Right.
Could be the last regular season.
Well, they'll be a wild card. They're not going to host. I don't think they can win their division still, can they?
No.
I guess if Seattle lost the next three and San Francisco won the next three, they could win the division, right? Because they would have won this game. But that's not going to happen. They're not going to lose 3 in a row. And no, I still say Seattle. They're on fire. How good were they that last game?
It was crazy. They were like earth-shatteringly good.
It wasn't even close. So if they can keep playing like that, they've got the momentum. As much as I would like there to be more parity, right now Seattle is far and away the best team in the league.
Okay. I always forget how many weeks there are in the league because of when fantasy playoffs start.
Right.
No, real playoff. Wait, how many? I don't know. Carla, are you gonna agree with the majority?
Unfortunately, I would love to play the dissenting card here, just to play the dissenting card, but I'm definitely in the Seattle court. I just went and looked it up thanks to my handy phone. This is not the last game at Candlestick. They play on They play on December 23rd against Atlanta, so there's still one more game.
Oh, and they'll win that one.
Okay, it's the last game that matters at Candlestick.
True. Well, at least they'll close Candlestick on a high note.
Yeah.
To me personally, and I'm again going to fall back on my college roots here, is that I've loved Russell Wilson since he was in college. I like Russell Wilson more than as a quarterback and as an on-field performer than Kaepernick. I think Kaepernick has been kind of up and down and not really all that consistent. And so that's why I would lean Seattle in this game. I had another point, and I totally just blanked on what it was. Seattle. Yeah, last weekend. The Hockey Lee incident. Sorry, not to bring that up again, but Seattle showed me something other than that. Whatever. Seattle showed me something against New Orleans. They really did. I had that game on. That's one of the few games I saw last week, and I mean the fact that they just pretty much destroyed New Orleans.
New Orleans. It's not like.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really thought Drew Brees was going to go in there and just say, you know what, this is still our league. Not really, not so much. And so I got to believe in Seattle this year. So I'm going to say this is a game that Seattle should win. So Seattle needs to win. So Seahawks.
See, I'm going to blame Brett Favre for New Orleans losing because apparently Sean Payton texted Brett to find out how they handled the noise. And how Minnesota handled the noise, and they had these custom fancy earplugs made, like molds of their ears were taken and all of this, and obviously it didn't really help. So, any chance to blame Brett Favre, I'm going to take it.
It's always nice to blame.
I actually think I'm going to dissent and say San Francisco's going to win it. I don't think you come off that big of a game and that much of a high and a short week and do it twice against another strong opponent. I think San Francisco is going to give Seattle a hell of a time, and I think they have a really good chance of winning it. So, because nothing should be unanimous, right?
Right.
Agreed. Carolina at New Orleans is our next game. And I think we're going to start with you, Kendra.
This is my game pick of the week. I think this is the game to watch. Carolina still feels like they have something to prove, and they're proving it this season. Now, New Orleans, coming off last week's game that we just talked about, they're pissed. I don't see Drew Brees going down without a huge fight, and I mean they have the same records. This is the game to watch this week. They both want this bad. They both want to have 10 wins, and this is just the game to watch. And I'm on the fence about who I think is going to take it, but. Seeing as New Orleans is at home, I believe that they are going to win it in the end.
Okay, Sarah, what say you?
Yeah, this is pretty much the battle for the NFC South. I mean, this is pretty much... Wait, hold on. I'm looking at their schedule real quick. Oh, they play each other again at the end of the month. So this sets up something. I think... I mean... What I see happening is New Orleans got spanked last week, and they've got something to prove, and they're going to come back and prove it against Carolina. They are a more seasoned team. They are older. I think that Carolina is more up and coming. I mean, I think they're both going to go to the playoffs. I think that New Orleans wins the division and Carolina takes the wild card. But I think in this game, I think that New Orleans has to win this to save face after last week, and I think they will. I mean, because Carolina hasn't lost since week 5. I think they're feeling probably a little overconfident, maybe as much as you can feel against the Saints if they're in your division. And I think that New Orleans is gonna come back, guns blazing, something to prove.
Yeah, I think Cam Newton thinks he's as good as Russell Wilson pretty easily. He's not exactly lacking in confidence.
Yeah.
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 Carla, this one's yours, man.
So Cam Newton's distracted by Auburn playing in the SEC title game on Saturday. No, I don't know. I just didn't want to feel like a broken record because I agree with what you all have said. I mean, New Orleans got lambasted on Monday night on a national television audience on Monday Night Football. I can't pick against Drew Brees at home. I can't after a performance like that. And Cam Newton is still very young. He's grown up a lot this year, and Carolina is definitely one of those feel-good stories of the NFL. But, I mean, he's still just a kid compared to Drew Brees. I'm going to go with experience and go with Drew. If this game was in Carolina, I'd probably pick the other way. But I definitely think that New Orleans can defend their turf.
Okay, Jill, the last word.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give any dissent on this one. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's a close call, but I think the Saints are going to take it at home. They've got great offense. They've also got a pretty darn good defense, and I think they're going to just be the stronger team this week and come back to avenge themselves after last week.
Make a little earthquake of their own, perhaps, inside their dome.
Yeah.
You guys did see that it registered as an actual earthquake, Seattle's interception against New Orleans. It was scary.
It registered as an earthquake.
Yeah. No, they have done that twice. There's a seismograph nearby, and yeah, they made a little earthquake.
Hopefully I'll be going to the Sugar Bowl there soon. We'll see.
You think?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to throw a random game at each of you, and this is going to be really fun because I'm going to make Sarah pick another of those games that's just oh so critical. Guess what? Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Come on, be a homer.
Oh, you know I'm going to be a homer. Okay, Glennon looks good. Like we lost last week to the Panthers, who are doing great this year, as we just discussed. But everything's changed since Freeman left and Glennon came in. I think that and Buffalo is not very good. So I feel confident that we can take this one, and I think that the Bucs really need that forward motion at the end of this season. I think if Shiano wants to keep his job, they're going to have to, and maybe not win out the season, but at least win 5. And we've got 3 so far. I think this is one of them. I think that Tampa, and this is at home. I think this is Tampa's game.
Okay.
I'll be a homer.
I'd expect nothing less from a long-suffering. Kendra, I'm going to give you Dallas at Chicago.
Huh. I was thinking you were going to give me this one. Real quick, Chicago is better at home than Dallas is away from home. And every time I watch Dallas this season, they just don't look as good as their record. I mean, they're only 7-5, but Chicago's way better at home than Dallas can keep up with. So I'm taking Chicago.
This is just because I have Romo on my fantasy team, right? But whatever. I'm out of the playoffs. So whatever.
So am I.
How many leagues are you out of the playoffs, Sarah?
All of them.
It hasn't been a good year.
It's all about college for me right now. I can't even. It's so bad. My NFL
That's
season.
That's really sad if it's all about
5 leagues. I didn't make the playoffs in any of them, I don't think. And my home team is 3-9. So I have to count on the Central Florida Knights this year.
Go Central Florida. So while we're talking about college, we're going to go over to Carla. I'm going to give you St. Louis and Arizona.
That's fun, because I know absolutely nothing about either of those teams, so this is great. The only times that is the game's in Arizona?
Yeah.
The only time that I've seen Arizona occasionally we'll catch them on Red Zone down here because I'm stuck watching the Titans all the time, and and every time I've seen Arizona, they've looked good, and their coaching pedigree is good. So I'm going to go Arizona.
Yeah, I think the home teams are safe choices this round. I was sure you'd get in something about Larry Fitzgerald.
I was headed there.
I live for the day he has a quarterback worthy of him. But,
I was going to say, but Carson Palmer is the quarterback there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe I should pick St. Louis.
Another one who tortured me in fantasy recently.
Yeah, I'm not a Carson Palmer fan.
Okay, I'm saving the best game for myself. Sorry, that's one of the perks of being your editor. Is that Sid or
Oh, this is Sid. You can't let it go.
Klaus? Is the other one, yeah. I always forget. Okay, Jill, I'm going to give you Indianapolis at Cincinnati.
Oh, who cares? Let's.
I knew you'd say that.
People from Ohio.
So, well, I can't pick Cincinnati because I just can't pick Cincinnati.
They have James Harris.
I know that they've been, sort of. They've been trying to, make a name for themselves this season and compete for the division title, but I'm going to go with Indianapolis on this one. I actually do think that Indianapolis is going to go into Cincinnati and beat them. I just don't think Cincinnati is as good as they think they are, and I think Indianapolis is better, and they're going to be the better team this week.
Okay, so she's the one not taking the home team. I'm going to continue that thread. I'm going to talk about the Browns and the Patriots because I hate the Patriots. And I really love, Carla mentioned feel-good stories in the NFL. It was really amazing how everybody gave up on the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And they've really not lived up to that at all. Mike wrote a great piece at the beginning of the season that made me, about how he was giving up on the Browns, which is pretty big stuff for Uncle Crappy. So I'm gonna pull for the Browns all the way in Foxborough. There's no game this week that I would love to see in person more, even if I'm going to Steelers Miami. I would love to borrow Mike's Browns jersey and go to Foxborough myself. I think I would enjoy that immensely. Sorry, family, if you're watching. Belichick, as long as Belichick's there and Brady, I just cannot do it. So. So week 14 is in the books as far as draft day suit is concerned. How many weeks are there? Sarah will know this, right?
16, 17?
16, okay. You're not decisive either. That makes me
I think there's 3 more after this, right?
Yeah.
There's 17 because each team has 16 games, and they all have
17 weeks, right.
Right.
16 games
16
by week.
games, 17 weeks.
Right.
I think perhaps we've had a viewer based on something I just saw on Twitter.
I thought you tweeted that. I just got a weird screen.
Yeah, I think Mike just tweeted that he's going to be starting at quarterback for the Browns this weekend. I think that means he needs his jersey and I can't wear it. But even Mike starting at quarterback, I'd be pulling for the Browns. I really would. I just can't do it. So
if Mike's starting at quarterback, I'm watching that game instead of my game.
No kidding.
Especially since Hockey League has the weekend off, according to our latest sources. As you know. He did wear the long sleeves on Monday night, too. It was really disappointing.
I know. What was up with that?
Yeah. The parody Twitter account, which if you haven't followed it, Ed Hocules Guns, is fantastic. he's a gem. Whoever's behind that account.
Or she.
Or she. Indeed. Could be either way. All right, let's wrap it up, folks. Say goodbye.
All right.
Until another week.
Bye, guys.
Next
Happy
week.
football.
Bye.
Happy football.
Bye.